large tornado, 100-mile-wide tornado, stovepipe.
It was probably one of the most powerful storms that's ever hit the state of South Dakota.
This thing is right next to us. Oh, God. No, go ahead and go, please.
All of a sudden, there was light in the house. Well, it's because the roof was gone.
It was like somebody just stripped you of it, violated you.
It was like you put the house in a blender and turned it on.
Oh, look at the storm, look at the funnel on the ground. Unbelievable.
When you see a storm that beautiful, that breathtaking, there's always a dark side to it.
From the Weather Channel, this is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jim Cantore.
June 22nd, 2002. It's around midnight in Denver, Colorado. Long after his wife Annette has gone to bed, 45-year-old Roger Hill tracks an intense thunderstorm known as a supercell on his computer.
The model data early in the morning showed a lot of instability and a lot of wind shear over northeast South Dakota. It looked like if you got a big storm to develop, that it would probably be a tornadic storm.
Since retiring from the Air Force in 1995, Roger has turned his fascination with extreme weather into a business. Roger is a storm chaser and director of Silver Lining Tours. Today, he has 5 thrill-seeking clients who want to see a tornado, and this looks like the right situation.
I told them to be ready to leave early in the next morning because all the models showed that looked like eastern South Dakota was going to be a hot spot to be.
By 7 a.m. the next day, Roger and his tour group are racing up Interstate 76 toward Brown County, South Dakota, 12 hours away. No one in the excited crew, not even the veteran storm chaser, can foresee how dangerous this day will become. Brown County, South Dakota is farmland as far as the eye can see. Wheat, corn, and cattle usually thrive on the endless plain. But over the last 3 months, the area has received only 4 inches of rain. This Sunday, June 23rd, temperatures are in the 90s. As evening approaches, 50-year-old Bill Bruns is cutting hay on his farm. During the cooler months, he operates a hunting lodge on the 2,000-acre spread.
We have an excellent pheasant hunting. We didn't get into the hunting business until we got the farm, and then we realized this is the perfect setup for a hunting business.
It's off-season, so the lodge is quiet. Bill is alone when he spies a thunderstorm on the horizon.
It was a real hot, humid day, and you could see it. Something was building in the west. We've had a drought all summer, and everybody was, I was saying, well, I'll take a little bad weather for some rain.
10 miles southwest of Bill's farm, Troy Engelhart and his 2 sons, 11-year-old Tim and 7-year-old Colin, are clearing a space for a swimming pool in the back of their new house.
It was on a Sunday, so it was the day to do the things that you had to get done besides the farm work. The goal for the day was to do a little landscaping and put the swimming pool in.
The Engleharts have saved for 6 years to build their dream house. They moved in just a week ago, and Troy's wife Carla feels like they are finally settling in.
I just was relieved we were moved in, and there was hardly anyone that had seen my new house. And I was waiting for the big day, to have people come because this was our goal.
We were doing the house so that when we finished, it was done. One of the things we've decided when we went into it, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it right because we're not going to be moving again. This is it.
7 p.m. Roger Hill and his team have been driving all day. Now they are in Brown County near Barnard, just a few miles south of the ferocious supercell. All along the horizon, Roger can see cumulus towers developing.
Cumulus tower is a big popcorn ball-looking cloud. It's a convective cloud that shows that there's a lot of energy.
National Weather Service reports show that the thunderstorm will likely pass north, directly through Barnard.
National Weather
service have issued the severe thunderstorm warning. This is a dangerous.
All the parameters were there to show that we could have a really good chance of seeing a tornado that day. There was a potential triple point set up across northeastern South Dakota. A triple point basically is where you have 3 different types of air masses that all converge in the same area.
When such volatile air masses collide, air is forced upward in strong currents known as updrafts. This forms severe thunderstorms and sometimes tornadoes. Roger tells the group to be ready for action. The video cameras are rolling. Just then, as if on cue, an updraft forms, and a cumulus cloud rears up over the vast open land.
These cumulus towers that just absolutely exploded. They looked like an atomic bomb. They actually looked like a mushroom cloud from an atomic bomb.
It's moving southeast. It's turning. It's a supercell.
Roger floors the accelerator and heads toward the updraft through the core of the storm. He hopes to get his team face to face with a twister.
We're going to get dumped on with the core here in just a minute. We're going to have to blast south.
At 7:20 p.m., Roger and his tour group finally get what they came for.
Tornado!
We parked our van and we're shooting video. The first tornado touchdown occurred.
Wow, look at it go. Tornado!
From his farm, Bill Brunn sees a second twister touchdown just a few minutes later.
It was just a steady thunder out there in the black clouds to the west. It was just a kind of a roll. And I thought, boy, that's odd. And I looked down the highway to the west and I saw a finger tornado going south.
Bill hurries for shelter in his hunting lodge. Roger Hill and his tour group are still in the teeth of the supercell. Suddenly, a third, much larger twister drops from the sky.
Developing tornado. Developing tornado. There's a circulation on the ground. We have tornado. Oh, look at the tornado. Look at the funnel on the ground. Unbelievable. You guys got the score of the year here. This is the best tornado of the year, folks. Can you believe this? Y'all ever seen a tornado like this? Look at the motion in the back of this thing. See how it's cascading and wrapping around the base of it? This tornado is nowhere near done, people. It's nowhere near done.
The giant tornado lumbers east toward Highway 281, gaining momentum as it feeds on the mass of hot air lying across the plains.
Unbelievable, folks.
Oh, look at that.
That's phenomenal. That thing hit anything, it got to be F3, F4.
The twister's winds are in the neighborhood of 200 miles an hour. That makes it an F3 on the Fujita scale, which ranks a tornado's power by the damage it causes. Right now, only fences and power lines are being destroyed. But the twister is heading straight for the Engleharts' brand new house and closing fast. Carla and Troy notice a strange shift in the weather.
The wind was just so different than a normal windy day, just pounding you. You couldn't get out of the wind.
It was pretty dark, just the way it looked. It looked like it could turn into a tornado.
Just then the phone rings. It's Troy's aunt calling from Aberdeen.
She said, "Have you checked the weather?" I said, "I'm not sure," and the phone just shut off.
Outside Carla's kitchen door, the wind begins to howl.
The wind was just really picking up pressure, like there was something coming. And at that time, it just happened within seconds, and Tim opens the front door, and he said, "There's a tornado."
2 miles away, on the west side of the storm, Roger Hill and his tour group are amazed at what they're seeing.
I gotta be in front of this thing, baby. I gotta be. Oh, what a tornado. What a storm. Yes.
Caught up in the excitement, Roger makes a risky decision. He's going to try to outrun the tornado.
Once you get behind a powerful tornado, it's pretty difficult to ever get in front of it again. So I thought, well, let's just go ahead and go and see if we can get in front of this thing.
Yep. Large tornado directly in the field next to us. Less than a quarter mile.
Suddenly, the twister moves closer, putting the tour group on a collision course with destruction.
Oh, gun it, man. You gotta get south. We gotta get past the thing. This thing is right next to us. It's coming right at us. It's coming right at us.
June 23rd, 2002. On the plains of northern South Dakota, a half-mile wide F3 tornado, with winds swirling close to 200 miles per hour, is gaining momentum.
Oh my God, look at it!
45-year-old storm chaser Roger Hill wants to gain a better vantage point for his tour group. He directs their van in front of the raging twister.
Maybe we can get past it. Oh my God! Stop!
As we got real close to it, the tornado turned to the southeast, which put it in a collision course with us. I had debated a few times on whether or not we should proceed on or whether we should stop, and then finally we just went for it.
Right next to us. Oh God! No, go ahead and go, please. Sorry, man. We got to get past this.
We can make it past this one. It's right next to us.
Oh, it's right next to us. Yeah, it's less than a quick
debris. We got debris.
A couple hundred yards away from us. Oh my goodness. Large tornado right next to the highway here. Large tornado.
We got it.
Large tornado. We made it, folks. We made it.
Oh, jeez.
You came close to death right there. It's the closest hopefully you'll ever come until your time is here.
From a safe distance, Roger and his group stopped to videotape the tornado.
Oh my goodness, this is a violent tornado, people. Look at that. This is incredible. You know what happened to the road right we were just on, don't you?
What? It's gone.
The highway that's being destroyed is the same road that runs to Barnard and to the Engleharts' brand new house. Troy, Carla, and their two young sons are inside when they see the massive twister.
And as I was looking out the window, it took the doghouse and took it west, and it just flipped it, and it was rolling, going west. So I told them the tornado is here.
Having grown up on the plains, Carla has heard outdated advice that the safest place to be during a tornado is the southwest corner of a basement. She quickly herds her family down below and heads for the corner. But at the last minute, she changes her mind.
The area that we were supposed to go up to the corner of the wall had a window. So I just said to the boys, let's just get on the pool table.
All the Engleharts can do now is wait.
My littlest boy, Colin, said, I'm scared. I told him, don't be scared. And I says, let's just pray, So we just sat and we started praying. And this was like seconds. It wasn't like you had minutes to do this.
In the blink of an eye, the house is overtaken by the howling twister.
It was kind of a deafening roar.
It smelled like ground, dirt, like a cellar came up into your face. It just overwhelmed you. It was just too much for you to really handle. It was just really, really intense, and it was loud and dark.
They hear the sounds of glass shattering and sheetrock crumbling. Their brand new house is being torn apart.
You just hear this banging and the windows popping.
And then all of a sudden there was light in the house. Well, it's because the roof was gone. The light was coming down through the hallway. We still had a floor above us yet, but the main roof was gone.
The tornado passes overhead and dies out, but the damage is done. Their house is destroyed.
Everything was new. It was what we wanted to do for years, and it was gone. And it was like somebody just stripped you of it, just took it from you, violated you.
Despite their loss, Troy is relieved. His family has survived.
When the storm was done, the roof might be gone, but we're still sitting here. So I guess I told Carla, I said, everything else can be replaced.
But suddenly the Engleharts encounter another problem. Enormous hailstones begin raining from the sky.
As I was standing there trying to, hang on and to grasp what was going on, it's like the hail started, falling.
The family takes cover as best it can in the ruins of their house. 10 miles northeast, Bill Bruns watches the hail from the safety of his lodge.
They were like softballs, and they were large. And they weren't round. They were gnarly-looking things, just like little meteors.
Bill calls his wife at their home, which is 3 miles away. He tells her that he'll get into the lodge's basement if the storm gets any worse. It does, right as he hangs up the phone. The supercell gives birth to yet another monstrous tornado. This one takes aim at Bill's lodge.
And it took me a few minutes to realize that it's coming right at me. And that's when I realized how large it was, because the tree belt is a half a mile wide, and I can't see either side of the trees. That's when I decided it's time to go. I gotta go. It's just, I don't know, the basement's not safe anymore.
Bill makes the split-second decision to leave the hunting lodge. He jumps into his truck and speeds west toward home. Just a few miles away, Roger Hill and his tour group find themselves running out of road as the twister closes in.
Be careful, it's coming right at us. Go. We gotta go, man. We gotta go. Watch for this road. Watch this road. This road comes in, we're dead. This is coming right at us. Oh my goodness, where does the road go? Be careful, Scott.
They manage to outrun the tornado and watch from a safe distance as it gains strength. It's now an F4 with winds around 250 miles per hour.
Unbelievable. Never seen such a storm, buddy.
Me either.
When you see a storm that beautiful, that breathtaking, that there's always a dark side to it.
June 23rd, 2002, Brown County, South Dakota. A powerful supercell has spawned 6 tornadoes in less than 2 hours. Now the storm has moved on, leaving a trail of destruction. Bill Bruns returns to his hunting lodge and finds a pile of rubble.
I said, well, my gosh, the barn's gone. And then I looked and the house is gone too. And the closer we got, the more we realized everything was gone.
Troy and Carla Englehart's brand new house is also destroyed. Neighbors help salvage what is left of their belongings.
It was a good feeling just to see everybody come and help. And that's, I guess, what makes community.
I just remember people talking to me and hugging me, and then I remember turning and just staring in the spotlight that just shined on my new house, and it was just gone.
Amazingly, there are no fatalities in Brown County. The next day, storm chaser Roger Hill and his tour group retrace the path taken by the tornadoes. After viewing the damage, they appreciate how lucky they are to have survived their adventure.
This group got their money's worth. For me personally, that was probably the second or third most dangerous, most frightening situation that I've ever been in 15 plus years of storm chasing. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd still probably do the same thing.
Hill and his group continue to Bill Bruns' farm. It appears that Bill's decision to drive away from the storm, rather than seek shelter in the basement, may have saved his life.
The chimney dropped, or part of it dropped after the house broke. I looked in there and I said, well, where would have I survived in there?
Everybody says you're supposed to be underground to survive an F4, F5 tornado. Well, if they would even have been underground and part of that foundation would have fallen on top of them like it did, you could still be killed.
Whether by chance or by fast thinking, everyone in Brown County, South Dakota is grateful to be alive.
we're okay, and we're all here, and I had my boys. We're going to rebuild. I'm getting excited about it now. We're going to try it again. And they always told me never say never, that a tornado will never come back, because they can. And we'll be ready.
So where is the safest place to take shelter during a tornado? We'll tell you when Storm Stories continues. So where is the safest place to take shelter during a tornado? In the late 1800s, one study suggested that the safest place is the southwest corner of a basement. However, more recent studies have shown that it isn't always the case, as falling debris often lands there. The best advice? Go to the lowest part of the building and take cover in a windowless inner room. Then, get under a heavy object such as a sturdy table or workbench, which will shield you from falling debris. For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori. Your local forecast is next.
This is the worst storm in the history of the
Yep.